Yeah, I went to practice Sunday at 5G just to hear the ball bouncing, Nate's voice echoing throughout the building, the assistant coach he's brought in. There's a hype and excitement. And, of course, probably many teams say that at training camp. But if you don't start there, you can't end there. And I think the culture we're building, and obviously it's been a really, really good franchise, a premier franchise, but what these two leaders have done and to set the tone, it's a great place to be. And I think you'll see that today with the players. There's an excitement and energy that's pretty special.
Josh, Trevor Booth with Desert Wave Media. You talked about the inflection point with women's basketball and building, and obviously the financial stuff you guys have put into the Mercury. Can you just elaborate on that, the resources you put in, and how that's kind of going hand in hand with the growth of the WNBA?
100%. Everyone asks, like, you're doing it now. Everyone's talking about what's happening now. Where I give our organization credit is we did it. We've been doing it. We've been doing it long before everyone said, oh, here comes this new media deal and here comes the charters. The practice facility was one of the first things we started talking about. Going after these two guys and making sure that they were the best sports organization was long before this new national media deal. So again, to me, it goes to care and investment. It's something that Matt, that myself, that everyone you talk to today truly cares about. We live and breathe this every single day. And you got to invest in it. Not invest in it because you're going to make money or because it's good economically. Invest in it because you know what it can be and where it can grow to. And now you're seeing that happen. And it has a smile on my face that everyone's talking about the W, but we've planted all these seeds over the last year, and now you're seeing them grow significantly.
Eliav Gabay, Sports 360 AZ. Good to see you, Josh. When it comes to Diana, obviously, and taking advantage of her last few years here, how big was that in making sure you put together a championship caliber roster for her?
Yeah, I pinch myself. There's Durant and Booker, but one of the coolest things for me, I have 3 younger sisters, is getting to be around her. And as amazing as a player as she is, she's an even better person. Look, I think Nick will tell you, like, his job is to build the best team every single year. When you have the GOAT, we want to win every single year and building a really good team around her, and she deserves that. And that's why it's intentional, the team we've brought in. But she's just an amazing person, obviously an unbelievable player. And we're going to keep building, and she's a huge part of what we're doing and the face of this thing and the face of the W for a very long time. All the stuff you're seeing, she's been a steward to get it to this point. We don't take that for granted.
Cindy Brunson, Phoenix Mercury broadcast team. Josh, good morning.
Good morning.
Speaking about DT, this summer she's going to chase yet another gold medal. And before she leaves, she and Team USA will play in the All-Star game. Are there any plans to have another three-point shootout like we saw Sabrina and Steph put on at the NBA All-Star game? I know Klay Thompson might be available. I guess Book is busy because he's going to be an Olympian. But I'm just trying to help you get it set up.
We'll have Nick will maybe have to help us recruit a little bit. Look, I think for All-Star, we use the word best. We have a lot of plans for All-Star, from concert level service to halftime acts to activations we're going to do. We have a team dedicated to making it the best All-Star ever. And that's been going on for a while, and we can't wait to showcase Phoenix and what the city is. As far as things like three-point shootouts, we're thinking of all ideas and how we can be creative. And maybe we'll bring Nate and Nick to recruit a little bit as well. When you can ask them that question, too.
Hey, Josh. Brendan Clean, Locked On Podcast Network. I don't believe you had a ton of experience around the WNBA prior to coming to Phoenix. What have you learned and what have you taken in just getting to be around the league and be more hands-on with the women's
You're
side?
right. I didn't. People ask what's been the biggest surprise in my first year. It's been the W, the Mercury, and how amazing it is. The X Factor, the fans, our games. I think there's no better place to watch basketball. And I can't wait for tomorrow night. My wife may be more excited than I am. She's made friends with everyone sitting there. So just to see how much our fans love the team, how good the basketball is, it's so pure. And then it's been really cool for me to see over the last year, learning the league. We've made a lot of changes, invested a lot, and then to see it grow where it's growing. So you're right, in Detroit I didn't have it. I have 3 younger sisters, and they all played basketball. So we watched Diana Taurasi. Like my sisters adore her. And to be able to watch her with my sisters and actually get to talk and work with her every single day, I pinch myself. It's a very, very cool thing.
Hey, Josh. Barry Bloom from
Hey, Barry.
Sportico. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Good. So how important is it for the league as a whole to embrace the coming of Caitlin Clark in the league and the impact she's going to have?
Yeah.
I mean, she's here at the end of June, I think. All the players, coaches, everybody from a marketing impact, I would think would want to be on board. And what does that do to your season ticket sales and overall sales as we go forward this season?
Yeah, spot on. Look, I think the inflection point of where we're at, she's obviously an amazing player, has a ton of attention. It's a terrific rookie class. I mean, there's huge names in the rookie class from Angel Reese. Obviously, you have more players coming than the Paige Beckers of the road who are going to be out there. So I just think notoriety around all these amazing women, what they're doing in college, how it's transferring to the W. And I think all of us as leaders in this league, it's our job to promote our teams, but also promote the league. Just like in the NBA, you talk about the Suns playing LeBron James. Now you talk about the Mercury playing Caitlin Clark, and so on and so forth. All these, Sabrina Ionescu in New York, all these amazing teams opening on the road against the defending champs in Vegas. So the league is bigger than any one team, bigger than any one player, and the more attention on it, we as stewards is to talk about our teams and how great the league, how great position the league is in.
What about the sales?
Sales have been great. No, I can't share any numbers, but I promise you it'll be an awesome crowd. But our sales have been good all for every game. You're going to see a really, really electric crowd here opening night all season long. Vince Koza, our president, does a really, really good job running the business. I can hear you.
With all the improvements and the investments you've made in this team, how have you seen that affect the player morale?
It's honestly probably the most rewarding and best part because they deserve it. There's little things we've done that maybe I take for granted, and to see the smiles on their faces and how impactful it is, from the family room, right? Having a family room that's dedicated to them, where their families can come and eat, to the way we travel now, to training camp, to having multiple athletic trainers, things that just should already have been in place. So the best part for me is seeing these amazing women rewarded for the talent they are, for the people they are, and saying like, wow, we notice a difference. And I hope today, when you hear them talk and they talk about Nick and Nate and their staffs, but the thing you take away is just how happy they are, right? And then the season will come and it's hard, there's wins and losses, but their happiness and the care factor we've put into it, I think you'll see that in the statements and what they say today.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Josh, how far away is the practice facility from Big Bend?
Early July, around the corner. Next year we'll be doing this there,
Barry, I said you're coming out for coffee.
and it's gonna be awesome too.
All right, well, I'm looking forward to it.
Good.
Yeah, you want to do it?
Thanks so much, everybody, for being here. I don't have a ton to say to start, but I just appreciate everybody being here. We are thrilled to be starting this thing up. We had a great week of training camp. We've had a great start to our early season, and super excited about the additions we've made. And Josh said it best. Like, we're just thrilled to kind of see the league and where it's going, and really excited to get this thing going. So happy to answer any questions you have.
Hey, Nick, Eliab, Sports 360 AZ. Great to see you.
You
So
too.
obviously bringing in Kalia Copper, a massive addition this offseason. What dynamic do you think she brings to this team, not only this year, but just moving forward in general?
Yeah, I could go on and on. The thing that sticks out to me most about Ka is her professionalism and her business-like approach. I couldn't feel any better about bringing in a player like that to help lead us forward in terms of coming to get her work in each and every day, being about winning first, second, and third. I could go on and on with her about her as a player. I think she brings versatility on both ends of the floor. I think she'll get us to the foul line. I think she can defend positions 1 through 4. I think she's one of the most dynamic and athletic players in the league. Like, again, on and on and on. But what's really exciting is to think about her setting a tone for us moving forward in terms of her work, her approach, and her humanity. She's an awesome, awesome person. And so to think about bringing her in as one of our best players, no-brainer and thrilled.
Hey, Nick, Trevor Booth with Desert Wave Media. So making the move for Copper, obviously we talk about Matt Ishbia's investment into this team. How much is there an emphasis just from you guys all around to win now and build a roster that's going to win now?
Yeah, I think that's kind of the balance beam we're walking. Like Josh said it, we want to win each and every year. And there's 100 different factors, but part of my job is to make sure we're well prepared for the future as well. And so I'm really excited about our offseason because I think and hope we were able to accomplish both. Josh talked a little bit about, our responsibility to Diana as the greatest player ever. Like, we want to put a team around her that she's proud of and that she can have fun with and that she feels like she can compete at the highest level. We want to win at the highest level this year, next year, and every year beyond that. But like I said, it's my job to make sure we're well positioned for the future as well. And I think the additions we made this offseason help us both this year. They're all under contract for the next 2 years. I think, these are additions that help us move the needle, not only this year, but moving forward.
Hey, Nick, Brendan Clean, Locked On Podcast Network. A lot of talk last year was super teams and the juggernauts at the top of the W. Obviously, they faced off in the finals. What did you observe in the style of play and what was winning in the league as you built this roster? And what did you try to, I guess, prepare here to compete with that?
Yeah. I think our entire staff is probably tired of hearing me use the word versatility. I think we just, what I saw with those teams and where I think the game is going, like, we just want players who play both ends of the floor, can play multiple positions, and I think, like, Nate and Christy and their staff will do a tremendous job of utilizing that. And so I think what I've seen and the way I prefer to play and we hope to play is just people who can do multiple things, bring multiple things to the table, play multiple positions, play both ends of the floor, and then I think that's where things get special and you get really hard to guard, and you can guard well on the other end in terms of just being switchable, everyone being able to handle, dribble, pass, shoot, et cetera, et cetera.
Hi, Jeff Metcalf. The challenge with the salary cap, when you think about filling out the back end of the roster, how important is what you can do from your position plus melted in with player development because of limitations on the salary cap?
Yeah, it's a great question. Can go a couple directions there. First of all, I'll say, like, the back end of our roster is going to be really critical. Like, it's no secret, most of our salaries tied up in our top six. And so we've got to bring in players where we can find, some talent at the back end of our roster. Monica, our assistant general manager, Monica Wright-Rogers, has done an absolutely phenomenal job bringing in, she filled out our training camp roster, and we've got some really tough decisions to make because she was able to bring in such talented players. So Monica's done a phenomenal job kind of filling out the back end of that roster and giving us options in those roster spots that you're talking about. And then the second thing I'd say is you referenced it, player development. It's a huge reason why we brought Nate and his staff in. Like, we really, really believe and want to be a place that players feel like they can get better, not only during the season, but year round. And so I am a huge believer in our coaching staff and their ability to maximize those players and get them better year after year. Player development in this league and any league, to me, is critical because if you can get better internally, now you're adding talent without having to spend any more money or without having to go make a trade or make a signing. So we have a huge, huge, huge amount of confidence in our coaching staff to get these players better. I think it's a real strength of ours.
Hey, Nick, I'm Barry Bloom from Sportico. How are you doing?
Hi, Barry. Nice to meet you.
You too. So globally, what do you think about the growth of the WNBA at this point? Is it about to take an exponential leap with the amount of talent that's in the league after, what's it, like 25 years?
It feels like it. That's one of the reasons I was so excited to take the job. It's one of the reasons I'm so honored to, be a part of this organization and this league. It feels like it's just on the ascension. It feels like we're, on the roller coaster and it's on its way up. And there's been so many people and players like within our own organization, Monica, Christy Tolliver, Diana, Brittney, like I go on and on, that have carried this league to where it is. And it's so exciting for me to be a part of it now, but to see where it's going because of the work they've put in. And it feels like it's, on the verge of exploding, and it's a really, really, really exciting time to be a part of it.
We're going to end with Willie Ramirez, AP, on Zoom. Willie? 1 second, Willie.
You mentioned practice, coach week training camp, and both of Josh just mentioned, locking up DT, having to go there. But I'm really curious about Natasha Cloud. we're talking about somebody who's done everything at every level, and what she's brought and blended with chemistry, with immediacy, and it's got to be nice to have her in camp rather than preparing for battling against her when she was with the Mystics.
Yeah, I couldn't say it any better myself. We are thrilled to have Natasha with us. The energy she brings when she walks in the room and walks into the gym is like quite literally palpable. Like she lifts the entire gym up with her energy. And then you see it on the floor, the pace, the force she plays with. You said it best, like so happy to be playing with her instead of against her. But I think she is the ultimate player in this league that makes others better and raises the barometer, raises the tide of like the force and the physicality and the pace and the energy with which we play. And I think that's going to be critical. So we're thrilled to have her.
My favorite signing. Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.
Take that one. Up next.
Good morning, everybody.
We're going to go straight to questions. We'll start with Cindy Brunson.
You ready?
I am ready. Are you ready, Coach? Good morning, Cindy Brunson, Mercury broadcast team. Getting ready for my third season here. My first with you, Coach.
Yep.
What was your biggest takeaway from your first preseason game up in Seattle?
Well, probably the biggest takeaway personally was I got to stay in the coach's box. I got a technical right out the gates. It was good. That's what preseason games are for. I think collectively as a group, we had 5 or 6 days of practice, and we're trying to ask them to do things that maybe they haven't done it before or done as a group. And it was great. There were some ups and downs. We didn't probably play as well as we wanted. It was Seattle's second game. They probably went through some things that we went through in our first game. But I really liked how we stuck together. I thought the first group was really good, the first 6-7 minutes of the game. And, it's a learning process. And obviously, we got to learn quickly. We've got one more tomorrow night, but we're ready. And it was a great, 5-6 days of camp. We got to go to Seattle, get a real look. We'll watch some film today and tomorrow, and then get another shot tomorrow night.
Elio?
Hey, Coach.
Hey, how you doing?
Sports 360 AZ. Training camp in San Diego, that's fun. What was that like for you, just running that first training camp, and what did you feel like you learned through the process?
Yeah, it's my first training camp ever, destination training camp, NBA, college, WNBA. It was special. It was special. It's something hopefully that we can maybe do every year. New staff, new team, new culture we're trying to build. It was awesome. I mean, the practices were high level, super competitive, but it was way more than that. It was our our team dinners and our rookie talent show and going to a baseball game together. It was getting to know one another, and those are opportunities for a group that we wouldn't have got that if we would have been here. A lot of us would have been going home to our families. And it was really a special opportunity for us to get to know one another. Not only our players, but our staff. We've got new front office members and new coaching staff members that we haven't spent much time together. And so I will remember that, those 5-6 days throughout our journey throughout the year, because those times that we, spent together is going to help us when things get tough, for sure.
Erica Day, PHNX, how you doing?
Hey, Eric.
I was just looking to talk to you about Kalia Copper. We've talked a lot about Natasha Cloud and what she means to this, but talk about Kalia and what she means to this and how she can help you guys win.
Yeah, I just keep telling Kalia it's great to see her play in person live. She's so impactful in so many things that she can do. Nick hit on it. There's a laundry list of reasons why we're excited to have her. She's in her prime. Some of her best basketball is in front of her, and she's going to help set our culture for years to come. That's the hope. And not only are the players that are here excited to play with her, but people around the league are going to want to play with her because what type of person she is first, and what a great opportunity for her to see the greatest player ever come to work every day in Diana, right? Josh hit on it, just being able to tell my little girls that I get to watch Diana Taurasi work every day, and now Diana is kind of trying to help instill her habits into Ka. And not that Ka doesn't have great habits, but it's for her to see the best player of all time do it each and every day. DT doesn't skip steps, and neither does Ka. And seeing them work before and after practice is a special thing.
Jay Russell, Burn City Sports. Nice to meet you, Coach.
Nice to meet you.
I wanted to ask about, this team is most likely going to be an offensive juggernaut this season, but we know that defense wins championships.
Yeah.
So what tweaks do you think that you need to make on the court to see a championship defense on the court this season?
Yeah, great question. Hopefully they told you that we spent a lot of time doing defensive drills in camp. They know, we know that's extremely important. And we talked about Tosh and her impact defensively, her vibe. She's going to set the tone. It starts with her, and we need to follow her lead. We're going to bring heat. We're going to have great ball pressure. And we've got the best rim protector in the league, in my opinion, in BG. And we need to get her back to feeling if she goes to help, we're gonna help behind her. And so, offensively, we will evolve as the season goes on. Probably the other night in Seattle, it got away from us a little bit defensively just because we weren't scoring, and we need to rely on our defense and know that we're going to do that each and every night for 40 minutes.
Hey, Nate, Trevor Booth with Desert Wave Media. Kind of asked you about it the other night, but can you just talk about the responsibility of being one of 3 male coaches in the WNBA and then also being the highest paid coach and how you're kind of feeling about all that?
Yeah, I take great responsibility in that. When it comes to coaching, I hope that our players feel this. To me, players, man, woman, I think players ask 2 questions. Number 1, do I trust you? All right, and by building that trust, you have to be able to spend time with them, show them know what you're talking about, and be willing to go through some things, right? And number 2, do you care about me? I think those are the 2 questions, and that's the thing that our whole staff is going to bring to Phoenix and what we want to do each and every day. So I do take responsibility. It's a new league, a new opportunity. I could not be any happier being here. This has been such a fantastic journey for me professionally, our family. My family finally gets here tomorrow full time, so that will be a relief just to get them here. But yeah, I'm all in. I'm sure, I hope the players would tell you the same, and I'm not going to coach them any different than if I was coaching a team in South Dakota or a college team, men, women. We're gonna get after it each and every day and keep trying to get better, and I hope they've felt that.
Hi, Jeff Metcalf.
Hey.
When you added Christy Tolliver to your staff, you added
Yeah.
somebody that already had coaching experience while she was playing, including
Yep.
in the NBA. How's that manifested itself so far, just from what you've seen and what she's bringing already with coaching experience?
Yeah, I don't know how long we'll have Christy here because she's so good. My hope is next year she's a head coach in our league. But I'm super thankful that she is here. I hope she's here as long as I'm here. She makes me better each and every day. I lean to her a lot. She probably gets tired of me asking questions about this league. But she walks in the room and she has instant credibility with our players. She's a peer first to them. They respect her for what she's done as a player. She's always, I'm learning, had a coaching mentality, a coaching mind. And yeah, there's going to be times where I put her in the huddle because I want I want to give her this opportunity to lead this team because I want her to continue to grow. That's how much I believe in her.
Hey, Nate, Brendan Clean.
Hey, how you doing?
You talked about developing that sense of trust and how important that obviously is as a coach. What's your process or plan been with BG, just continuing to integrate her onto the court and get her back to the MVP caliber level we know she's capable of?
Yeah. Luckily I was hired early in the offseason. And so Sophie's been around, Kristen Williams has been around, DT's been around, and BG has been here. And as a coach, to me, the easiest way to build a relationship with your player is getting on the floor with them, sweating with them, and developing a relationship. And through the time that we've been here, going to dinners together, getting coffee, she is in a really good place. I'm super happy and proud of her for her approach this off season. This is probably the first time in her whole career that she got to work on her game, her everything that she's been through, rehab. So you saw it the other night in glimpses in Seattle. I expect her to have a big year. The hope is she's going to have more room in the paint because we've got shooters around her. And, it's been an awesome experience to get to know her. She's a wonderful person, and I'm blessed to be here with her.
One with two, Barry, and then one on Zoom.
Thanks, Olivia. Hi, Dick. I'm Barry Bloom from Sportico. Nice to meet you.
Hey, Barry, how you doing?
I'm good.
Good.
So I have two kind of separate questions.
Yes.
One is kind of global. What do you think that Caitlin Clark and the new influx of talent,
Yep.
how do you think that's going to change the WNBA and bring it to another level?
Mm-hmm.
And why don't you answer that, and then I'll ask you the second one.
Yeah. Nick kind of hit on it. Josh has hit on it. It's a special time for this league. This league has had a ton of great players in the past. We've got the greatest of all time in our building each and every day. And Caitlin is the one that people around the world are excited to see. And we're excited that she's coming here. It's not only because of what the WNBA has done the last couple years, but this whole rookie class. And we're excited that she's going to be here to help push this league forward even more. And just excited to see what she can do each and every night.
And then secondly, what do you bring from the men's game that translates down to the WNBA? From my unlearned perspective of this, having covered a little bit of this, but 50 years of the NBA,
Yeah.
it seems to me that the women's league is more of a floor game like the NBA used to be back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my question.
Yeah. There's going to be situations that are different for me just because it is a new league. I think that's the beauty of having Christy here with me, Diana, BG. Any situation that is new, I can talk through with them. I've been shocked how organized and how hard the WNBA preseason games have been. It's been a pleasure to watch. I'm not coming in here trying to think that anything I'm doing is going to be better than what's been done. I'm just coming in here to do what I've seen, and we're going to compete defensively. We're going to space the floor offensively. We're going to hopefully share it, and we're going to hopefully attack the rim and shoot a lot of threes. And throughout the game, like I said, I don't think we're trying to do anything different. We're just going to do what I'm used to seeing.
We'll go to Dorothy Gentry with The Athletic on Zoom.
That was DT. It might be time for me to get off. Yeah.
Dorothy, are you there?
There she is.
Hi, is my turn? Yes. Yeah, we can hear you. I'm sorry. Hi,
Hi, it's Dorothy Gentry with The Athletic. Thank you so much for your time. Real quick, you're new there, but so is Natasha Cloud. Can you tell me a little bit about why it was important for Natasha to become a part of the Phoenix Mercury, what she'll bring to the team, and just how you're looking forward? You know anything about her game from her time in Washington?
Natasha is a vibe herself. She has a swag, a confidence, a leadership that not only I needed, I think our whole organization and team needed. When I took the job, Nick gave me 4 or 5 free agent names to look at, point guards. I watched 3 clips of Tosh, and I was like, she's the one. And yeah, we are thankful that she's here. It's going to be a learning process. You know, she's been in Washington for a long time, and they played a certain way, and we've got some really good offensive players. It's going to be a process as far as just us finding her spots and her finding shots for others. But she is, you know, when I think about a point guard, for me coming into a new situation and who I would want to lead the team from a competitive spirit and a kind of like an old school pass first point guard, it would be her. And I've told her that I'm so thankful and excited that she is here with not only me, but just for us. I mean, she's going to get our really good players' shots each and every night, and then she's also going to compete at the defensive end. So Tosh was a big one. She was the one on the board that we wanted to get early, and thankfully she decided to make the move here to Phoenix. Awesome. Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Good morning.
Good morning, Diana. How are you?
Good. How are you, Cindy?
I'm great, thanks. Cindy Brunson, Mercury broadcast team, season 3 for me, season 20 for you.
Yeah.
As you look forward to this season, what excites you the most?
Oh, well, I mean, you know, that's the beauty of starting a new season. There's this energy of how far this team can go, how much we can cultivate a new way of playing that we want. And just being in the gym for the last week, there's this thing about this team that can be really special. But the only way to do that is obviously to get in the gym and to work. And that's one thing this team doesn't have a problem doing, which is refreshing.
Hey, Diana, good to see you again. Eliav Gabay, Sports 360 AZ. So we just talked about the excitement going into it, looking forward, just looking back just for a moment. When you think of year 20 and think of the journey to this point, what comes to mind?
Just really lucky, to be honest. You know, to be able to play my whole career here in Phoenix has really been a dream come true. And you only get perspective when you take a step back and you get to really think about the journey here. You know, when I got here in 2004, I'd never been to the desert before. I'd never been to Phoenix before. I really didn't know much about the city, the people, the basketball culture here. Obviously, I watched the Suns a lot because I was a Laker fan. And I always knew there was something special here. And, you know, I've just been truly lucky to be here my whole career.
Diana, how are you?
Good to see you.
You too. Paul Richardson with the Sports Cave. Just one word, why? You've accomplished so much. You've done so much. You iconic. You're known as a GOAT. Why again?
Probably because I don't play for any of that. I play because I love the game. I love to prepare. I love to compete. I love to come into a training camp in my 20th year and still try to prove myself to my teammates and my coaches. Because I think after 20 years, there's still more to learn about the game of basketball. Hopefully, there's still more championships to bring here to Phoenix. All those things.
Hey, Diana, Trevor Booth with Desert Wave Media. We saw you in Book's signature shoe commercial. Can you just talk about your relationship with him, and then from when you watched the Suns this year, if at all, what kind of limited them from accomplishing what they set out to do?
I mean, Book is just a special human being. You know, when we got here, he was just a teenager, and I thought he was 35 already. He has this maturity, this seriousness, this work ethic about him that is unmatched by any other player I've ever been around, female or male. And to see him get his own shoe this year is pretty special, because he's done it all, obviously here in Phoenix, but, you know, we look at the last couple years, going to the finals, being the best team in the NBA. If you rewind 7-8 years ago, I mean, he was going through it. And for him to stick through that and to get to this side of it, I'm just really proud of him. And, you know, as far as the Suns this year, you don't get to win it every year. That's just the nature of the beast when it comes to sports. You have to have a lot of luck. You have to have a lot of things go for you. You have to have a certain mentality as a group to be able to win a championship. And you might have that mentality. You might have all the pieces to the puzzle and still not win it. But I think the beauty of what you saw about that team is no matter what happened through the year, they were always there for each other in one way or another. And that's something as, you know, as a Suns fan, a Phoenician, for our city, something we can look forward to for next year.
Alex Cipollini, Burn City Sports. So obviously you guys added Kalea Copper and Natasha Cloud. Just what kind of elements do they bring to the team and the energy that they can bring?
Yeah, other than them being from Philly, which isn't the greatest thing. I mean, I don't think we've added two players that change our program as much as Tosh and Ka have already. I think Coach talked about Natasha a little bit, and there's not a lot of people that change everything about your team the minute they step into the gym without even touching a basketball. Her energy, her competitive fire, the way she treats people, the way she cares about every single individual on the team. It's all the things that make you a great player. And on the court, she just is going to bring this competitive spirit to both ends of the court. And it's going to raise the level of everyone on the court. And then Ka is just special. At her size, in our league, there's not many people that can do what she can do. Obviously, we saw that firsthand in the finals when she was MVP, and we lost to them when she was with Chicago. And when there was just a little glimpse of maybe her being able to come to Phoenix, there was no doubt that if we could get her here, for now and for the next 10 years, Cop is a special, special player.
Hey, how are you? I'm Barry Bloom from Sportico. Nice to meet you. What do you think about the coming of Caitlin Clark and some of the new talent coming into the league? I've seen some dissonant quotes about it from coaches and other players in the league about them, Caitlin especially, having to merge her way into the league and not usurp the other players who have been here for so long.
What was the question?
The question was, what do you think about the integration of Caitlin and those newer players coming into the league?
Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, our league's now almost 30 years old, so it's nothing new under the sun, as you would probably know, more than anyone else in here. You know, I plead the fifth. Look, there's been a lot of talk about the rookies coming in, which has been amazing. You know, I've been able to see them play now for 4 years, and what they were able to do in college was really, truly amazing. And I think it speaks to where we are, in women's sports, in women's basketball, the coverage, and like anyone that loves the WNBA, we want that momentum to carry on to whatever team they're on. And you're going to see that in Indiana, obviously, with Caitlin, and, Chicago with Angel, and, Cam in LA. I mean, they've been able to tap into a different side of the media. And this new generation really does carry a lot of weight when it comes to, I think they call it the social platforms. So, I mean, it's been incredible to see that momentum. Are you on Instagram? Look at you. I take it back.
No, I'm on Instagram, I'm on, Twitter,
X, Twitter, yeah.
I'm on Facebook.
Yeah.
And I have to do all these things.
That's
This is my, to your point though, this is my 49th year covering basketball and baseball and sports.
See, I'm with you. I'm with the OGs, not the IG.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Brendan?
Hey, Diana, Brendan Clean. You've been asked about it a couple different times, but just we've heard Sue and Candace talk about those later years and just the measuring of how do I know, when will I know, those types of things, and
Yep.
just contract year and another Olympics coming up. Are you taking it 1 year at a time? Do you have a plan beyond this year?
Yeah, I'm taking it one day at a time. Every day I stretch. I'm like, okay, I can go today. And I joke with BG all the time. BG's like, why don't you ever take a day? I was like, the day I take a day off, you'll never see me again. I just still love to prepare. I love to compete. Can I talk about next year? No. I'm just, at this point in my career, I'm 41. I'm realistic. I prepare for what's coming in the near future. And for me right now, that's, game one in Vegas, and, I'll go from there. But yeah, I have thoughts about it.
Hi. You played with Kristi Toliver in Russia.
Yep.
Now she's on the staff here. Can you just talk about what she's bringing to the staff and just maybe your relationship with her? And then also, what does it mean to you to have the charter flights now?
Yeah, I mean, KT's just been a great addition to the staff. Obviously, both BG and I played with Kristi in Russia for many years. And the one thing I always admired about Kristi was how level-headed she was throughout any circumstance, whether it was in-game, at a game. And I think for her, just having that experience with the Mavericks and really investing in herself, I think says a lot about her. And just having her around, it's nice to have someone you've been, in the trenches with, and we know how she prepares. And just the little bit I've seen in training camp, she's a big-time coach. Kristi has a great future in coaching if that's the route she wants to go in. She has a mind for the offensive side of the game. She sees it a little bit different, and it's been really refreshing to be around her. And she's just going to continue to grow and really relish the challenge of being on the staff.
Good morning, Diana. Vicky Perez, Somos AC Sports. I'm going to ask you something in Spanish,
Okay.
if that's okay. Llevas 20 años ya en esta liga y es demasiado tiempo, y con esos 20 años han pasado tantas cosas y han mejorado demasiado las cosas en el baloncesto femenil. Tú personalmente sé que has contribuido demasiado. De esas contribuciones que has hecho al deporte en estos 20 años, ¿qué es lo que más te da orgullo?
Y bueno, ya hace 20 años que estoy acá en Arizona y en esta ciudad, y la verdad que tengo muchas gracias por darle a este estado. Del día que llegué acá, en 2004, es mi casa, mi familia vive acá. Y ahora en 20 años el baloncesto femenino acá en los Estados Unidos está en un lugar bien lindo, por la atención en la televisión, los partidos. Pero yo creo la cosa que hice yo, que tengo más orgullo, es que vine todos los años preparada para jugar. Y eso es la única cosa que puedo hacer.
Muchas gracias.
BG with the translation. All right, guys.
Thanks, buddy.
Man, how about this? How about that? Wow. Cease to amaze me. Oh, this is a
Hey,
cute little
Brittney.
mic. Whose is this? Who's this? This is cute. Aw. It's cool. Sit that right there. Sorry.
Welcome back, Brittney. LA Alpha Sports 360 AZ. So, San Diego must have been fun out there. I know you like the sun. What was it like just to be around this new group? I know the chemistry starts early for you. What was that like?
San Diego, I mean, first off, shout out to Phoenix. Shout out to everybody that made that possible for us to go to San Diego. Yeah, I mean, anytime you can get away and, you don't have the distractions of like, all right, I need to get home. I need to put this crib together. Dee needs to read a bedtime story. Like we can like stay together and start bonding early. You see it in the teams that win. You see that collective just meshing together. And down in San Diego, we were able to do that very well. Yeah.
And I know for you, you were just kind of getting to taste what you're capable of last year, getting another full off season now under your belt. Where do you feel like you're at and where you want to be?
I feel great, honestly. I feel great. I feel like a basketball player. I feel like an athlete. Everything I want to do, I can do it. Yeah, like there's no lag in between my body and my mind. Shout out to Annalise for all the hard work that she put in with me, keeping me in the weight room. Sometimes I'm known to run, and she found me. But no, all seriousness, she did an amazing job on me and my body, and just feeling strong, mobility, everything. Yeah, like the whole training staff, honestly.
Hi, Tia Reed, the next. We've gotten to hear from you a lot just with the press tour that you've been on and leading up to your book. Congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
You even said at one point that you considered retirement after everything that you went through. I guess what's your take on that now and how you feel like you've come along since then?
Yeah, no, last year, yeah, I definitely thought about it, like just giving it up. But I think that was just, down in the trenches and just not feeling the best. But yeah, y'all are stuck with me for a while now, so I'm not gonna let up. I'm gonna take Dee's advice every single day. Just do a little bit, don't stop. It definitely actually helps. Yeah.
Cindy Brunson, Mercury Broadcast TV team. BG, great to see you again.
Thank.
You've had this off season. You're ready to go. So my dear friend LaChina Robinson wants me to tell you she is again picking you to win MVP. She wants it out in the universe. So there you go. That is for her.
My
for
girl.
me, I know, right? So for me, you're going to need help getting there, right? Somebody's
Yeah.
got to get you the ball. So I want to know from you, who has impressed you the most as a veteran and as a rookie?
I mean, I'll say this about the rookies. I haven't been in a training camp in a long time where I was like, I want to keep them all, I would legit keep all of them if we had that ability to. They've all shown me something that they do very well. Just their willingness to learn, to take, criticism, constructive criticism. They're just swallowing up all that knowledge, and that's a hard thing to do when you're young, to be able to just swallow up all that knowledge. Sometimes you just want to say, well, no, I do it like this. No, they're like, okay, we're going to listen. We're going to do what you say. You can see it, and I think that is a trait that's really hard to have in the youth sometimes. Not to sound older up here. Wow, woo, time runs so fast. And then the vets. I mean, Kyle and Cloud, just their energy, watching them pressure pressure the guards out on the wing, at the point, you know, the energy that they bring, it trickles down. It legit does trickle down. It makes me, okay, well, let me get up here. I don't want my man to be the one that can catch it. So it's been really good. I mean, those two have brought so much energy. Just walking in the gym, just how they greet and come in the locker room and say hey to every single person. I mean, that is small, but that sets the culture.
Hi, Brittney. Trevor Booth with Desert Wave Media. So when Diana came in here, she said that you guys feel like you have something special going on here. You guys have obviously been to that mountaintop. Do you feel like you have enough to win? And then also, conversely, how much are you kind of emphasizing to everybody, like, you know, we need to rebound after last year?
Yeah, so after last year, you know, we're not going to talk about last year that much. We're just going to leave last year be last year. We all saw it. We all played in it. Well, we played in it. But, yeah, after that, I mean, defense is a big key. You're not going to win a game. You're not going to win a championship in this league not playing defense. And I think that's something that we want to do. When we come down the court, we want it to be a whole kerfuffle. Like, we just want it to, we want them heads spinning. You know, we want them to have to swallow us up on the D down low. And yeah, that's something that has definitely been emphasized. Rebound, gang rebound, everybody. You know, you got to fly in there. So I think you'll see a different Mercury out there. I'm ready for this second preseason game so we can work on it even a little bit more now and show y'all here at home.
Hey, Brittney. Jay Russell, Brent City Sports. Two questions. One on the defensive end. Coach Tibbetts talked about how basically confident he's in you in terms of handling the paint. Defensively, how confident are you in the wings and the guards to get a hand in the face of some of the best shooters in the WNBA? What have you seen actually in practice?
Yeah, yeah, Coach is challenging me to stay in front of the ball and, you know, be that rim protector. I feel like, you know, when I first came in, that was definitely my MO. I kind of got away from that, you know, depending on the years and, you know, worrying more about offense. But I'm going back to the basics. I'm about to have the Meg Thee Stallion knees out there. I'm about to get low, all right? Okay, I'm about to slide, all right? So, no, I mean, all seriousness, though, like, if I'm not protecting the rim, if they don't have, you know, I'm going to be in a majority of the pick and rolls. And me and Mike J, we've been working on that this whole offseason. You know, I finally had a real offseason where I felt like myself, where I can actually work on these things that I've kind of gotten away from over the years. And I'm looking really forward to getting back to there. You know, you know, talk about the MVP and all that, but I want to be the Defensive Player of the Year. You know, I want that title. I held it 2 years in a row, I think, back in the day, and I'm trying to get back to that. So yeah, if I'm doing that, our team's gonna win.
And then sorry, just
it's all good. Go ahead.
Thanks, Britt. The last question I want to ask too, something big. You've been in the league for a while now. Charter flights.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? Just being able to, you know, fly private and everything like that. I know that has to kind of get on the WNBA players' nerves sometime.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really excited that the younger players will not have to experience everything that, you know, we experience and the ones before us had to experience with that. I always said that safety is like a #1 key. Like our safety should have always been, you know, high priority. You know, I understand we're a league where we're more accessible to our fans, and that's good to a certain extent. But I feel like we've hit the threshold now where it can be an endangerment, and you know, there are threats that are present that people know about. You know, last year we had somebody, you know, roll up on us, and you know that situation could have went totally different. You know, luckily it wasn't as aggressive as it could have been, but we've seen in media and we've seen in times where that can go really bad really quickly. So the fact that we're going to have these charter flights where we don't have to worry about that, that's one less thing we can, you know, take off our radar, focus on the game, getting there. I think it's just going to be better for us. So I'm just really excited for the young ones to not have to deal with that stuff we dealt with.
Hi. I asked Diana about having Christy Tolliver on the staff. You also played with her in Russia. What's that like for you, having her as part of the staff? And then my second question is, you've seen your teammates become parents. You're about to become a parent. What's that like for you even now, just a little bit before it actually happens?
Yeah. I'll start with KT. KT's been coaching, I mean, honestly, in my opinion, before she crossed over to the coaching side. I just vividly remember her grabbing me and just coaching me up on the court, off the court, in practice. You know, I always could turn to her and, you know, she would make sure I was in the right place. But beyond that, make sure I understand why I should be in that place, not just go stand in the corner and go set the screen and roll. Like, you're doing this for this backside action, you know. And, you know, what she's done, you know, throughout her career on the floor, I'm glad I don't have to go against her anymore. I'm glad she's coaching me on my side now. But you're just going to see even more of how great of a coach, and you know, she's going to be. And second part of that question. Oh, Olivia. Becoming a parent, I am thrilled. I'm head over heels. I know everybody keeps saying like, "Oh, you're not going to sleep. You're going to be up all night." Like, I'm cool with that. Like, I'm looking forward to those long nights. I'm looking forward to just coming home from a hard day of practice, or you know, outside things going on. You get home, you see this ball of joy. You know, I also get to see Baby Bash, and everything else is not going to matter anymore. All that's going to matter is just this time right there. So I'm super excited. I cannot wait.
Vicky Perez, Somos AC Sports. You took a little bit of my question, but there's just so much new with you. Your book, new coach, new season. You have a baby on the way. So how are you feeling coming into the season with all this sense of newness?
Feeling good, honestly. In a really good place, so it's not like overwhelming or anything. You know, some people might be like, "Oh, all this new change, you know, all this new stuff," and it could be a lot. But yeah, I'm ready for it. I was ready for a new beginning. You know, I've been with Coach this whole off season. We've got to really know each other really well. And like I said, I'm just excited. Like, I'm ready for something, you know, more. And you know, we get so used to being at like a normal state where like we don't encourage the new, and I'm just embracing that.
We're going to end with Barry.
Hey, Brittney.
Hello.
Barry Bloom from Sportico. Nice to meet you. Just a question about your experience. Do you digest that experience and work your way through it, or is it something that you can't put in a place, but you live with the rest of your life in some way or another?
My experience
In Russia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you never forget about it. It's always there. But you know, you just kind of when it comes up, you deal with it, and when it's at its low, you just enjoy those lows. I think it made me a tougher person. When adversity hits, I always can think back to the real adversity that I actually went through, and I can get through whatever in my day pops up. Hard game, down, you know, injuries, knock on wood, but I mean, we know it's part of our game. I used to think that was the end of the world until I met what the end of the world is to me. So I think it just made the smaller things really seem smaller for me, so I can use it to my advantage.
So you've been through the worst, and the rest of it is...
Yeah, I mean, any worse than this, I guess I'm in a pine box, so, you know, hopefully it doesn't come to that anytime soon. Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all.
Gained some weight in the off season. Right? All right, before we get started, I have something actually for you guys. Since you guys are always asking the questions. All you have to do is just wave, okay? Ready? Hold on. You guys are... Okay, ready, set. Hello, media. Yes, yes, yes. All right.
So, Paul Richardson with the Sports Cave. How are you?
Great. How are you doing?
Good. New season, new everything. Tell me how you're going into the season. How you feel? Any different from any other season, or your outlook compared to any other season?
I'm stoked. It's just a new era. It's a new energy. Hopefully you guys can feel it. I felt like a hippopotamus the past couple years, you know, not a Power Ranger, but this year I feel like the pink Power Ranger. So I'm stoked for it. And I think everyone is. I think we have a very quick, unselfish team. We're competitive, and at the end of the day, we all just want to win, and we haven't had that. So the culture is on point right now.
Cindy Brunson, Phoenix Mercury broadcast team, season number 3 for me. Soph, you had another successful season on the Suns broadcast team. What are you taking away from breaking down tape and breaking down the Suns that is going to help you this season integrate all of these new pieces into the Mercury?
Yeah, I think it's actually kind of like the perfect storm right now, just because we have a new coach who was on the NBA side who is now pouring into us, which is much needed. But being on the broadcast, you know, you see how they play. You see their style. You see their defensive schemes, the way they run their offense, and that's exactly what we're doing now. And so it's been pretty cool. You get to watch these guys, especially KD, Book, and Beal, who are the elite of the elite in the way that they do things and how professional they are. You know, you watch that as a player, and you kind of take things that you like and try to put it into your game. And so, like I said, it was a great season. I know they kind of fell short, but I know they're going to be motivated. They're supporting us. Now it's our turn. It's time for us to go put on a show, and I think that we are so ready. I hit on it earlier, but the new pieces that we have this year and the old pieces that we have, like it's going to be, we're going to be turning a lot of heads. So.
Hey, Sophie, Brendan Clean. There's a lot of talk this time of year as cuts are happening and everything else of limited roster spots and just how difficult it is to make the league.
Yeah.
What would your advice be as a player who had to kind of fight for your spot and wasn't a top 3 pick or something to get to where you are and have some stability in your career as an athlete?
Yeah, I think perseverance is one of them. I think not comparing your journey to anyone else's journey, especially where you get drafted. It's all about opportunity. If you get drafted there and you stay, it's still about opportunity, getting out on the court. At this level, everyone can play, but what are you doing to set yourself apart? And so for me, it's all about just putting your head down, getting better every single day, get 1% better. Even if that 1% is your best, you're still getting better. But I don't know, I just think that if you can turn anything into a positive, it's all part of your journey. It's all making you become who you're supposed to be. And so for all these rookies who are out there who are trying to make a squad, or if they got cut, it doesn't mean that your WNBA dreams are over. Maybe it just wasn't the right time. And so for me, find the joy, find the positive, learn from everything. And at the end of the day, you're playing basketball for a living. You're getting the opportunity to play basketball for a living. And so that's something to smile about.
Hi, Sophie, Trevor Booth with Desert Wave Media. What does having Kalia add to this team? I know you guys had the little scuffle in the finals a couple years ago.
I don't know what you're talking about. Man. She's good. She's so good. She has the jelly in the paint. She knows how to move. To have someone who is like a prolific scorer, she's an all-star. She draws a lot of attention. I've been licking my chops. I think this is going to be the best season I've ever had because as a shooter, you don't only have her, you have Tosh who likes to get to the paint, you still have Diana, Shug coming off the bench right now. But when they all like to create and get to the paint as shooters, you're going to be left wide open. They have to pick their poison. And so I'm super excited that Ka's here. We are actually have gotten really close. I think we're just going to keep getting closer. I'm excited she's here in the Valley. And at the end of the day, it's a new era. And I would like to point out that like, it's competitive, right? Our league is super competitive, and what happens on the court, it's fun. It's all about trying to help your team win. And I think that as females, we kind of get a bad rap that we can't compete and then be friends off the court. And I think that you guys will see that we're going to probably change the narrative of that.
Hey, Sophie, nice to meet you. Erica Day with PHNX Sports.
Hello.
I wanted to talk to you a little bit about Natasha Cloud. I know a lot of people wanted there to be beef when she got signed to the Mercury. So just talk about what the vibes have been like in the locker room and in training camp with her.
She is the bee's knees. Okay, anyway, Tasha's freaking awesome, man. Like her energy is, there's no one like Tosh. She's so weird. Oh my God, she's so weird, but she's like my type of weird. She's fast. She knows the game. She's actually been a great leader. I think she's been our best leader so far of just communicating on what she sees on the court, what she sees off the court, and just making sure we're all good. But at the end of the day, I just think that she has a great energy. I think everyone that we've brought in, from our new owner, our new office, front office, our coaching staff, new players, it's a new era, and it's a fresh wind, and I think that you guys really will see. I know that we've struggled the past couple of years, but when you bring good people in, good things are going to happen, and I think Tosh is a huge part of that.
Alex Delaney, Burn City Sports. So obviously you guys have a month off for the Olympics. So like, could that disrupt a rhythm going into that break and coming out of it? And then also, what do you think about the charter flights now being available?
Great questions. I think, yeah, maybe it can disrupt a rhythm, but I also think that it's healthy sometimes to get a little break, let your body rest. For me, I'm going to be on the lake, so I'm kind of excited for it. But I will say the charter flights are key. I'm a rep for the W for our team, and I don't know why it hasn't happened sooner. It should. And it's kind of ridiculous that it's taken this long. And you have fans who are sitting right by us who are like, why aren't you guys flying charter? Like, you guys deserve way more. The attention is on you guys. It's been on us. So what are we doing? But we finally got it done. I think we're all super excited. I think that you might see that the competition and the way that we play might go up too, because we're getting treated better and we don't have to have layovers. We don't have to go to the airport 5 hours before and just be sitting there. And so hopefully you guys will see that when you pour in to a product, you get better product. And, you know, maybe it might take a couple years, but we deserve it, and we're happy to have it now.
We're going to go to one on Zoom. Lily Ramirez, AP.
And Sophie Cunningham with AP in Las Vegas and WGRamirez.com. You were not in the game in Vegas when Shug got her triple-double, but you obviously were playing alongside of her throughout the season. There was a lot of emotion in that post-game press conference. Just a big exhale that it came out in emotions. How special of a person on and off the court that people don't appreciate about Shug Sutton?
Well, she's a Missourian. Of course she's awesome. No, I really will say, though, I've known Shug for a really long time. I just think she's a heck of an athlete. She's a even better human. She puts her head down. She works every day. She's getting in extra reps. She treats people with the utmost respect. And I think, again, when you're a good human and you do good things, then good things tend to happen to you. And I think Shug is a great example of that. She's quick. Her ability to score is phenomenal. I think she's getting better, especially going overseas. She's just been able to kind of get in her bag a little bit more. But I don't know. I think she's going to be a huge spark for us this year. But again, I think that the sky's the limit for her. Again, in this league, it's all about opportunity. Last year, we struggled a lot, but I think that she was a bright light in our season. And I think people got to kind of see what she brings to the table. And so I'm excited for Shug this year. I'm excited for all of us, but I'm just happy that she's on our squad still.
Last one, Barry.
Hi, Sophie. I'm Barry Bloom from Sportico. Even I I'm old, but I'm not around for bee's knees.
Oh, I
That was
can't
my
be showing you
father's
guys that.
generation. But, so as a player rep, can you give some detail on how the charter flight situation was resolved?
Oh, honestly, I would tell you, but we haven't even had that meeting as a union yet. I think we've been fighting for it for quite some time. And the fact that just kind of came out of nowhere proves that we have the money to do it. So we need to start treating us like the elite athletes that we are. But again, we are grateful that it finally happened. And I think this kind of first class coming in from college, that they've had a lot to do with it. There's a lot of eyes on the W right now. It's a great time to be in the W. It's a great time to be a fan of the W. And with that, it's time just to level up In every area, we've got to level up, and we haven't had that conversation as a union. We haven't really had it with Kathy, so I really don't know the ins and outs of it. I think that meeting's coming this Monday, so next time you can ask me. But I really would like to say, like, we're just grateful that we're finally going to be treated how we should have been probably, the past 10 years.
Yeah, I think the last time I looked, half the owners in the WNBA are NBA owners, and I would think that having somebody like Matt come in with your organization, he probably would have had a great influence on it because he runs everything around this first class.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, Matt was a player, and so he knows what it takes to win at a high level. He's won a championship. And so for him to kind of keep pushing it, especially for our side, it is huge. And we are so grateful that he's doing that. And I think that maybe he might be ruffling some feathers a little bit on the W side, but that's what's needed. In order to get where you want to be, you can't keep doing the same things that we've been doing for the past 25 years. And so I think it's so cool to be a part of the Mercury right now with how he's doing things and how he's pushing the league and other owners to level up. It's time. Like, it is time to be a fan of the W. It's time to invest in the W, and you're going to see that you're going to get great product.
Good. I'm big on ruffling feathers.
Hey, there you go. Me too. Hee hee. All right. Bye, guys.
See ya.